Okay, so we've got a lot of Vancouver Canucks news to dive into heading into today's game against the Vegas Golden Knights. Take a look at this. It was a video posted earlier this afternoon by the team on Twitter. Per head coach Rick Tocchet, Quinn Hughes is out, Elias Pettersson is a game-time decision, and Kevin Lankinen is in goal. Okay, great. Lankinen in. The guy got the contract, the guy got the bag, the guy got the years. We heard his interview on the radio at the arena. He's happy to be a Vancouver Canuck, which is, of course, all that we could really ask out of these talented players. Lankinen getting the start, totally earned it. We'll see what happens on the back-to-backs. Because the Vancouver Canucks do play off against the Utah Hockey Club later today, and they also have another back-to-back later next week, which will take place against the LA Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. So it's a back-to-back today and tomorrow. It's a back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. What the hell is going to happen with Kevin Lankinen and his workload? Who is going to be the backup? Is it going to be Artur Silayev? Well, okay, it has to be Silayev, right? The question is, I guess, whether or not Silayev is actually going to get any playing time in this road trip. We'll see what happens with Demko next week when the team comes back to Vancouver. But other than that, Quinn Hughes missing today's game against the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, thank goodness the guy did not end up going to the Four Nations Championship. Man, imagine if not only with the game, but the travel, how that would have held back whatever sort of recovery period he would have had. I mean, going from Jersey to Van to Boston to Vegas instead of just going Jersey, Van, Vegas. I mean, the extra time on the plane, the extra time going through the airports, doing everything you need to do, and whether or not he would have played. And he's not even able to play right now. I mean, I guess right now, when you're thinking about the Canucks' decision to say, oh yeah, Quinn Hughes is out, he is not cleared to play, I guess now it's like, oh, I guess he really is just not healthy enough. Right? I mean, he was practicing with a no-contact jersey a few days ago. He was practicing with a regular jersey a few days later. But now it's like, yeah, even for the Vancouver Canucks in important divisional rival games, Quinn Hughes is not playing. It's kind of a miracle the Canucks did not have any Quinn Hughes fingerprints on that Four Nations tournament, considering the status of his health. Meanwhile, Elias Pettersson, game time decision, whether or not he'll play or not, that remains to be seen. I will say, if he ends up missing time, it's like we had spoken about yesterday. If the guy doesn't play, are we really missing out on anything? I mean, Vancouver hockey has been so interesting to watch because the team is winning games off of the backs of guys that are not Quinn Hughes or Elias Pettersson, that maybe a game without Pettersson can be a pretty interesting visual display as to what this squad is really capable of. No Hughes, no Petey, no Demko, and the most experienced and top hierarchy guy the Vancouver Canucks have on the team in this game is going to be Boeser? It's going to be Tyler Myers? Okay. That's interesting. Speaking about Brock Boeser, I wanted to dive into some extra thoughts about him and the trade front, because this bleeds into the conversation we had yesterday about Brock Boeser and the Doomsday Clock. Yeah, I know, all Watchmen references aside, that was a pretty fun one to go out there and make, but the end is near for Brock Boeser when you consider the Vancouver Canucks contract situations and whether or not they're interested in keeping this guy around. Let's go over onto the fourthperiod.com. Because earlier in the week, they had themselves the updated trade watch list of 2025 4.0. This is as of February 21st. So, yeah, earlier in the week. Sorry, I meant yesterday. Let's scroll down on David Pagnotta's piece and read about what he has to say on Brock. The Canucks and Boeser are not close to an extension. Vancouver wants midterm. Boeser wants long-term, and the dollars are apart as well. The Canucks could hold on to him for their playoff run, or, if the offer is too good to pass up, move him out if they feel they can't sign him. He is a UFA this summer. Now, we spoke about a lot of this and more yesterday. You could go out there and check out that Watchmen Doomsday Clock video if you wanted to see the scoop on Brock, but essentially, we don't know if the guy is going to be able to re-sign in Vancouver. The parties are far apart. the money isn't really there either. So Vancouver, it's already been introduced, the idea of Vancouver letting Boeser walk in free agency for nothing, using him as an own rental for their own playoff run. Hey, instead of shelling out assets and getting a player in return who's going to leave in free agency like Elias Lindholm, let's just use the guy that we have on our team right now who is going to leave in free agency because we don't have to give up any assets to get him. He's already on our team. Anyways, if the team is so inclined to trading him because they feel like they can't sign him and the offers are pretty juicy, maybe these are the teams that get it done. Teams reportedly linked to Brock Boeser include the Minnesota Wild, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the LA Kings, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, we just made a video talking about Mikko Rantanen and how Toronto and Tampa are linked to that guy, courtesy of Elliot Friedman. But Brock Boeser would make a little bit of sense too, I would say. Brock is not the fastest guy in the world, but his goal scoring, his net front presence, his sniping ability, it's all very polished when you get him in the right spots and give him the right opportunities. In fact, I'm thinking about it, okay, there are some guys who haven't really been like the fastest who have excelled in organizations like these in the past too. I'm thinking about Tyler Toffoli, for example. He was an LA King, a really good one, and despite the fact that he isn't really fast either, he had a great career with the LA Kings. I'm thinking about the Minnesota Wild. Hey, guess who was one of the best Wild players ever? Thomas Vanek. He was kind of slow, especially towards the end of his career, but Minnesota used him very well, and I guess you can say that this argument may not be all too succinct because these teams are a lot different than when Toffoli and Vanek were playing on the Kings and the Wild, but still, it's like these teams and these fan bases, they know how to treat and react to slower players who have goal-scoring touches and who get their offense done with their smarts rather than their ability to speed by everybody Connor McDavid style. Toronto, I do have a little bit of reservations about because I think with their style of moving the puck around and cycling it, while Brock Boeser can excel in a system like that, we did see him get a whole bunch of power play goals, assisted by JT Miller and Quinn Hughes over the past 12 months. I just don't really know if he's the guy to add on that particular goal-scoring aspect that Toronto might need. Boeser's good along the board, so I guess you can say that there's value there. And then in Tampa Bay, I'm not too sure if Boeser would align nicely with Braden Point's pace and Nikita Kucherov's smarts and what these guys are able to do off the rush. The cycling game is insane in Tampa Bay as well, but it usually finds its way back over to Kucherov on that right side. Brock Boeser as a net front presence could be an interesting idea, though, so don't discredit that. At the end of the day, though, Minnesota, Toronto, LA, and Tampa, each of these teams, I do think there are better fits than others, but them being linked to Brock Boeser on the trade front in this fourth period article, I did find it interesting enough to make a video about. If you are a fan of either the Wild, the Leafs, the Kings, or the Lightning, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below whether or not you think Brock Boeser would be a meaningful add for your hockey team. We didn't go over this because we talked about this yesterday, but Brock Boeser has declined in point production from last year. Last year, he had 40 goals and 73 points in 81 games. This year, he is on pace for 55 points and 28 goals. He currently has 18 goals and 35 points in 48 games. So, roughly aligning with what he was for the majority of his career before the explosion of goals and production last season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think the trade price for Boeser should be? What do you think is an appropriate package for a rental asset like this, making 6 point something million? Let's say the Vancouver Canucks retain half. They know they can't re-sign this guy. They get him off for $3.5 million, and he goes to another team, 3 point something million dollar cap hit, and he gets added to a top six. There's extra value there if you retain the salary, but by how much? I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Wild fans, Lightning fans, Kings fans, and Leaf fans, if Brock Boeser is that guy. Vancouver fans, what are your thoughts on the potential trade of Boeser, and do you think there is a package to be had here? What prospects and assets and players would you be targeting from these four teams should Boeser get sent over there? Let me know in the comments what do you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Zayne, and bye.